What's going on, reality hackers? It is Michael, your man, your reality hacker here, and I'm excited to chat today. Today we're going to talk about something very simple. We're going to talk about how to feed your mind, ultimately, not only how to feed it, but how to understand it in such a way that you can really begin to do what you need to do without a lot of confusion and frustration, right? What I find here is that you've probably read books on the subconscious mind or the conscious mind or how beliefs become reality and how self-concepts turn into, all sorts of feelings and thoughts and beliefs in your body and all that sorts of good stuff. But ultimately today, what I want to do is I just want to spend some time really illustrating, and this may be a revisitation for you, right? This might be a reiteration. It might be your first time hearing this, but I want to illustrate the relationship ultimately between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the superconscious mind, or what we would call source, right? So we're going to be talking about this from a dualistic point of view. And again, right, a lot of you might have already heard this, but I think that this is just really, really potent. And ultimately, we're going to finish it out with a bang, okay? So, right, I've got my handy dandy whiteboard here, your favorite whiteboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little bit, right? So what I want to do here is you can imagine these three sorts of rings, right? And right here, you have your conscious mind, right? Right here, you have your subconscious mind. And right here, you have your superconscious mind, SUCM, right? And then from here, we have 3D. This is how ultimately experience comes to be, right? You can only do to the extent that you can be. You can only be to the extent that you are, and what you are is determined by your self-concept, right? What you fundamentally believe to be true. So what happens here, the self-concept, where the self-concept lives, it lives right here. It lives in the subconscious mind. And ultimately, it comes as a result of the superconscious mind. So what is the superconscious mind? The superconscious mind, essentially, for conversation's sake, contains all information, all beliefs, all self-concepts. Any self-concept from any time and point and space and time ultimately exists in the subconscious, right? There is a very, very real chance here that the self-concept you're wanting to create is not the first iteration of that self-concept, that it's been floating around in the consciousness that we are for potentially eons, right? And you don't really know. But at the end of the day, all information, period, it comes from this super conscious mind, right? Ultimately, the source, the totality of all that is the soup from which matter comes into formation, right? Ultimately here, on an individual level, the superconscious mind connects with the subconscious mind in that our ability to receive information, especially information that is information we have not learned yet, but perceive or receive, some might call it a prophetic word, right? And it doesn't have to be prophetic. I mean, this literally applies to common situations, day-to-day life, like your relationships, things of that nature, right? But ultimately, the superconscious mind comes to the subconscious mind in that really who we are, this is who we are, okay? We are the superconscious mind experiencing itself subjectively, and the superconscious mind experiences itself via the matrix of the subconscious and the conscious mind, right? Superconscious mind conditioned. I'm sorry, my writing is super sloppy, very much like a professor. The superconscious and the conscious mind conditioned create individual form, right? And so what happens here is we're always taking from the superconscious, right? We're always taking from the information from the field, so to speak. And what's happening is we're taking that information and we're applying it to our individuality. We're ultimately making it true. And we make something true by simply believing in it more, right? Something literally, something that is the most true thing to you, something you would say, oh yeah, of course that's true. It's that true for you because it's that natural for you to believe it's that true. And it's that natural for you to believe it's that true because you've been believing that's true for so long with so much confidence and conviction that it's no longer an issue. It doesn't matter whether it's fundamentally untrue or not. It's about you coming to believe it's true to such a degree that it's a nonchalant truth, right? It's like, yeah, that's just the way it is, right? What does William Blake say? What seems to be is for those to whom it seems to be, right? The way it is the way it is for the person that says that's the way it is, because to the degree in which something is natural to us as far as its conviction inside of us, it becomes reality, right? So speaking of that naturalness, that conviction, that's all formed here, right? That's all formed in the subconscious mind, that conviction, that naturalness. And ultimately what it is, it's just a repeated pattern of feeling. The subconscious receives from both the superconscious, it also receives impregnation from the conscious mind. So what we choose to do throughout the day, the states that we choose to enter into, we are then the male aspect of this relationship between the conscious and the subconscious mind, penetrating, impregnating the subconscious mind with the goodness, right? So what happens here is the subconscious mind, I think it's said that 95% of our days are run with the subconscious mind, right? We don't consciously think throughout most of the day, and that's totally okay, right? But the times that we do think have such an important factor in what goes back to the subconscious mind, which is why, at the end of the day, the imperative here is to know yourself, to study yourself, to understand how you think, how you feel, so that you can go throughout your day and you can understand this process, right? Because here's the thing. If you are, and I didn't bring my my paper towel. Oh, I did bring my paper towel, but it's over there. If you are going throughout the day, right, you're having situations that are unpleasant, and ultimately you're responding to them with a sense of resonance, with confirmation, right? With, oh man, this always happens, or, you know, I can't believe this is happening, blah, 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 blah. Literally, right, what you're impregnating the subconscious mind with there is struggle and frustration. And this is why so much of this is being proactive about your states of consciousness. It's about being proactive and coming back to what you know to be true, which is that you're loved, you're abundant, you're powerful, you're amazing, you are fantastic, you are the totality of the universe experiencing itself. Because in those moments when you are reacting, right, and whether it's conscious or not, unconscious, it doesn't matter. The reactions are feeding the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, its convictions are being confirmed, and those convictions are proving themselves in the outcome, in the 3D, right? And so there's this intercorrelated relationship between the superconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind, right? The superconscious is what we really are, our true identity, and we are experiencing that superconscious through the matrix of a subconscious and a conscious mind. And ultimately what happens here is what we allow here in our conscious mind, right? What we bring there, what we really allow to be the dominant force, the dominant factor, it impregnates the subconscious mind, all of which is powered by the superconscious mind, the same exact mind from which the entire universe runs. And so all of a sudden you have this cycle that is never stopping, and it's never stopped. It's literally been running since you were born into this world, maybe even before, honestly, who really knows? But the relationship between the conscious, the subconscious, and superconscious, it can't be ignored. So here, if you're really wanting to take this to the next level, what you need to really do is just set an intention to become aware, to study this, but become more, not mentally aware, but emotionally aware, experientially aware of how this works, right? You have to become more aware of your conscious mind's relationship with your subconscious mind and how the superconscious mind interacts with both of those. And ultimately, the most important thing here is to understand that you are the superconscious mind experiencing itself subjectively, and nothing is ever going to take away from that. And so hopefully today you have a revisited understanding of how your conscious and your subconscious mind and the superconscious all interact to create what you believe to be yourself, and how that self interacts with the world we call 3D all the time. You are amazing, you are powerful, you're wonderful. If you want to go deeper, get the Law of Attraction ebook in the description, get the I Am Experience, join our Bending Reality Retreat. We are going deep into this. We're taking this to new levels. We're here to support you. There's so much love and support for you. If you need anything else, go ahead and like and comment. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and make sure you're around us as much as possible so that we can feed you everything you need to be fed. All right? Sounds good? Jeez. All right. Love you. You're amazing. We'll talk to you soon.